Hey everyone. In my video last week, I highlighted how the combination of downward trending inflation and improving likelihood the Fed will keep rates flat, reduced recession risk, and the resulting rise in confidence levels are bolstering the commercial real estate investment outlook. And that video spawned a very good question from a very smart industry veteran. He asked me what higher consumer debt and credit card debt mean for that outlook. First off, as is often the case, I want to point out that a lot of the things we hear from the media don't tell the whole story. The headlines we're all seeing highlight that consumer debt is at an all-time high. Total household debt is at a record $17 trillion, and revolving credit, mostly credit cards, also hit a record level in excess of $1 trillion. These are big numbers, and they're major milestones. And one would think that if debt is reaching these extreme levels, it really doesn't bode well for the economic outlook. But as always, there's more to the story. First, let's put the debt numbers in perspective. Inflation has been a huge part of our lives for the last couple years. And when you inflation adjust the debt numbers, putting them in real dollars, it does offer additional insights. First, on an inflation adjusted basis, total household debt is on par with where it was in 2008. So even though we're at a record in terms of nominal dollars, on an inflation adjusted basis, we have been here before. The bad news is that the last time we hit this level of debt was just before the global financial crisis. That naturally leads to the question, what's different this time? The answer? The other side of the ledger, income. While inflation-adjusted total consumer debt is about the same as it was in 2008, the economy is much bigger. The US GDP is now 29% larger than it was before the global financial crisis. That's a difference of about $6 trillion real dollars. To put that number in perspective, since the pre-global financial crisis peak, the US economy has added the entire economy of Great Britain and the entire economy of France combined. And there are a lot more people working in the US. Total employment is at an all-time high. There are almost 18 million more jobs today than there were prior to the global financial crisis. And that means people are making more money. Real personal income is 32% higher than it was before the financial crisis, a gain of more than $5.5 trillion. Likewise, inflation-adjusted median household incomes are up, and so is the real disposable income per capita. So if you look at consumer loans as a percentage of GDP, it's down considerably. The same holds true when you look at inflation-adjusted household debt as a percentage of GDP. And when you look at household debt payments as a percentage of disposable income, they're down dramatically compared to before the financial crisis. So even though, as the media keeps telling us, consumer debt is at a record level, when you consider how much income is sitting on the other side, the numbers aren't as scary. And that's a big part of why we continue to see growth in retail sales and consumption, as well as the economy as a whole. From a commercial real estate perspective, this is all good news. It implies that despite higher levels of nominal debt, people and businesses do have the financial wherewithal to support demand for retail space, hotel rooms, self-storage space, apartments, and industrial space, if they want to. And that's why I emphasize the rise in the major confidence indexes. They give us insight into people's willingness to spend and consume and form new households and lease space. And again, that's why the messaging from the Federal Reserve will continue to be so important. If you rewind the clock to this time last year, the rhetoric was focused on surging inflation, higher gas prices, higher living costs, and rapidly rising interest rates. That scared people, and confidence dropped. But it appears the dialogue has shifted, and that could unlock space demand for almost every type of commercial real estate. The caveat, of course, would be a new setback, like a severe hurricane season or if the banking sector takes another hit. Barring that, commercial real estate demand is positioned to strengthen as we go forward. So, As always, don't take the headlines at face value. We need to dig under the surface. And we always need to keep our eyes on the horizon.